Chris Cookin' Nashville here, the beautiful Ash Taylor here. It's a little bit of an interesting week. We're going to talk with you guys about it. Let's talk about leaving a legacy. All right, thank you guys so much for tuning in to watch. It's been a little bit of a different week, some unexpected stuff, and we're going to talk with you guys about it. My grandpa, Dwayne Weber, passed away, and it's very sad to see him go. But we are happy that he is not struggling, not suffering, not in pain. He is reunited with my grandma, who was the absolute love of his life. And he has the freedom now to be able to do all the things that he could not do in his older age, as his body just sort of lost the ability to do some of the things that he loved so much. And I have no doubt that the two of them are fishing and enjoying the house that he said that he had dreamed her coming to him in a dream and saying she had picked out for them in heaven. And I have a feeling he is loving everything that he always used to love and is happy beyond any belief that any of us could ever have and any of us could ever imagine. So it's very sad that he is gone, but we are spending some time remembering him. And Ash and I are going to be out of the state at the time that you see this video. We will have been dealing with funeral visitation type stuff, being there with family and just kind of grieving and also celebrating his life and doing these various things. But we were talking about this and we thought this would be a good chance to, one, take a moment and just honor him, which is very important because he was a really amazing man, loved Jesus more than anything, and is one of the major influences that has turned me into the person that I am. And for the short time that Ash knew him, I think had a really big impact on her in her life as well. And we're going to be handling all of that kind of stuff, so we figured that we could record something here and talk with you guys a little bit about kind of the legacy that he left and something that is really on our minds about that. Because, you know, we talk about keto and carnivore and the weight loss and the health and all of these improvements, and we've talked about how when you get the inflammation off of your body and out of your brain, and when you start doing these things that are better for your health, how you become a better version of yourself and you can be a better spouse and a better parent and just all of these things. You can do all of this stuff better. When you can do all of that stuff better, you create better memories, you make better choices, you have more positive impacts on people. And one of the things that really made my grandpa a special person is not only was he just an amazing human being, and he loved the Lord, and he witnessed, and he did things to take care of other people and share his faith. And even if you didn't share the same faith that he did, he still loved you anyway, and he didn't think of you any differently. Very much where I get that approach from. Even if you don't share the faith that we have, we still love you anyway, and you're just as welcome. And he was someone who was always looking to take care of somebody else. He was giving everything that he had to make everybody else happy and to help them and to teach and train. And I learned how to shoot trap, and I learned how to hunt, and I learned how to fish, and I learned how to do all these things because of both him and my dad. And those are the two most influential men in my life. And I'm blessed that my dad is still around and in good health, and my parents are doing keto and kind of headed towards carnivore a bit to take care of their health. So hopefully they're with us for a very long time and in good health. But he and my grandpa were the reason growing up that I learned how to do all of these things that I do, and that I became the man that I am. And if I can be half of the man that my grandpa was, I will be very proud of what that would mean. So my grandpa left a legacy, and I put a post up on my YouTube channel, my Chris Cooking Nashville main YouTube channel. If you're watching this on that channel, you can go find that post on my community tab. If you're on my studios channel, you can go over to my main Chris Cooking Nashville channel and you can see that post there. But that whole thing was about fishing and about growing up with him and having these memories, and him and my grandma now being together and these kinds of things. But really, that was really just about the legacy that he has left behind because of all of the things that he has done for all of us, for the things that he has taught all of us. And one of the reasons that keto and carnivore has been so impactful in our lives is because we want to have the ability to love and train and teach and impact as many people as possible and leave as much of a legacy behind as we can. We have a really great example to follow in his footsteps of leaving a legacy and loving people. And we're just trying to figure out how we can do that in the most impactful way and touch as many people as possible. And I was talking with some people that were offering their condolences, and specifically some family members that were on my social media and offering condolences. And I was thinking about how many people my grandpa, both of my grandparents, but my grandpa especially, as I was thinking about it in this moment, how many people he has touched, how many people he has affected and blessed because of his life. And the number is in the thousands, where I can't even begin to figure out how we would ever know, because it's not just the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and maybe thousands of people that I can think of that I've been told the stories of how he directly affected them his whole life, and many of them that I was there for. But then the kind of impact that he had on them trickling down into the rest of their families and other generations and more things. You know, my grandpa was a school bus driver for a large portion of his life. And he took kids to school, and then he took their kids to school, and then he took their grandkids to school. And all of these families that he knew and that loved him, they had so much of a positive influence in their life that came from him. And this kind of story with him goes over and over and over through so many different families in the area where he's from. And honestly, the good things that he did live on through the things he taught me to do. And a lot of what I try to do here on the channel and what Ash and I try to make this about, a lot of that I learned from him. And, you know, him and my dad, those are the people who have taught me how to be the man that I am. And I learned so much from my grandpa's example and the life lessons and all of the hundreds and even thousands and thousands of hours fishing and the different things that he and I did together. And I think that a lot of the great things that he had, that he offered to so many people, he gave to me. It's one of the biggest gifts that he could have given me was his faith and his application of that faith, and how you love people and how you care for people and how you just do everything you can to give and to impact as many people as possible. And it's a core thing of what Chris Cooking Nashville is all about, is how we try to impact as many people as possible in the most positive ways that we can. And I'm far from perfect at it, but I do the best that I can to figure out how I can give everything I have in a way that will reach as many people as possible, so that we can help and hopefully save as many lives out there with keto and carnivore, and honestly, just with good, honest, motivational love and sharing our faith. And maybe that will impact somebody out there who is seeking, and maybe the example that we set, or talking about our faith, or talking about what having Jesus in our lives has done, maybe that will impact somebody. And I know not everybody agrees with us on that or even wants to hear about that, and that's okay. We still love you guys anyway, but that is something that he never missed an opportunity to do. And I would like to be even half as capable of making sure to spread that message with as much love and care as he did in his everyday life. One of his favorite things to do was wear jeans or pants or different things that on the back of one of the legs was painted Jesus saves and different Bible verses and like different things like that. He loved to wear those, and he loved anytime he could strike up a conversation with somebody about them and tell everybody about his faith. So he was just a wonderful and beautiful man, and we will certainly miss him. But the impact and the legacy that he leaves behind is something that we will always have, and something that we will never forget to constantly try to use and remember and carry on a daily basis, especially here with the Chris Cooking Nashville stuff and trying to do everything that we can. So do you have any thoughts? I know you didn't necessarily get nearly as long to spend with him as I have, but
No, you're gonna make me cry, so let's see if I can not cry on camera today. But no, I think we've talked about it here on the channel. And I grew up without a father figure, and kind of raised myself and then my brothers, and so I never was really shown growing up a very good example of what does it mean to actually be like a husband or a father or a grandfather. And really, I never really understood, because of not having that, the impact that having that could have on your life. And so, when I met you, I never thought I was going to get married. And then I basically met you. And it's, I think, just such a true testament to your grandpa and to your dad and your mom as well. But I immediately, after meeting you, could see the impact that they had made on you. And I could tell that someone had set a great example, for you on how to love, how to treat others, and how to be the best version of yourself. And so, I didn't get to know your papa for very long. I kind of came in towards the end of his life. And but every time that I would see him or talk to him, he always was just the kindest man to me. He always would tell me that he loved me. He, would get me to try to shoot and do different things. And I just loved him. I thought he was just so precious. But I was telling Chris, I said, I think it's really cool for me to see, because I think he just set such a good example. And even me coming into his life later, I see the example and the legacy that he's leaving, because I married you and I see these qualities in you. And I mean, that's kind of why I ended up marrying you, is because of the beautiful person that you are and your heart and how you want to help others and do things. And I think that's why a lot of people watch your channel. And I think that kind of comes through every day in what you do. And so I think he left an incredible legacy. And, we're nowhere near ready to have children of our own yet. But if we do one day, I think it's really cool, because now, because of the example he left you, keep passing that on through the generations.
Right.
And so I think it's awesome, and he will definitely be missed. But also, I feel like with his legacy, I mean, he kind of keeps living on.
Yeah.
He's just a big part of everything that we're doing, and a lot of the love, and a big part of the community that we built here. And so it's just a beautiful thing, and definitely has me thinking about, what kind of legacy would I leave behind to my loved ones and to the world. And I definitely know I'm a way better version of myself when eating keto and carnivore, and doing things like not drinking and all. And so for me, it's just really lit a fire in me to kind of continue to be the best version of myself. And just grateful for him, though, and the time that he was in our life. For sure.
Yeah, I totally agree. He was a good man, and there is a lot of legacy in not just my life, but in many people's lives that he leaves behind. But we're very grateful. We'll get to the end of the video eventually.
I don't think we're going to get to the end. I just did my makeup. I can't cry.
Right. We're very grateful for the time that we had with him. And I am very proud to share the story of who he was. And I just hope that I can be a positive influence for people the way that he was. I don't think there's too often much more to say.
No, I do not think so.
I think that words don't do justice to it, but just being able to carry on the focus of trying to help people and doing the stuff that he taught us to do. It's the best I can do. I think that's about all I've got. Before I just totally lose everything, I'm just going to sign it off there and thank you guys for watching. We're a little bit out of pocket as we adjust and as we just take some time to celebrate his life and enjoy being with some family members and remembering all of the good things. So thank you guys for watching. We will be back with all of our regularly scheduled programming coming soon, and we have a bunch more stuff that I hope will be inspirational and motivational and will have as positive an impact on as many people as possible as what I think he would have been able to do in his own way too.
Yeah.
So we will do our best to carry on the legacy he has left, and we'll hopefully change some lives in the process the way he did. Thank you guys for watching. This is Chris Cooking Nashville. My beautiful wife, Ash Taylor. You guys eat your meat, love your life, try to leave a legacy. We'll see you guys here in the kitchen, at the dining room table, in the studio, a whole bunch of other places for more recipes and hopefully some videos to help leave a little bit of a legacy. We love you, Grandpa.